Okay, YouTube, I'm back, and I was going to make a part two to the Great Cosmic Mother, but I got something better for you all. Like I said, I highly recommend you use this. Now, what I'm about to do is, I'm going to use this book to break down the movie. I'm going to break down this movie right here. We've all seen it, and it's called Suicide Squad. Now, what I'm about to do is, I'm about to make two parts to this. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read to you what I came across. And I want to see if you can make a connection. So this is Suicide Squad Exposed. I'm quite sure you never heard this before. So you got to hear it from me. All right? So, I'm quite sure you've all seen the movie. You know what it's about, right? And what I want to do is I want to read this real quick. Okay, so we know about this, right? This is Enchantress, right? I'm going to tell you who she's representing. Now check this out. Now this is a blog, right? Suicide Squad Villains and Backstory Explained, right? This is on a website called ScreenRant.com. Now I want to drop down here, right? And I want to go here to I want to read this to you real quick. Let's read this part. So it says, from here, the story of Enchantress and June Moon, keep this name in mind, becomes something of a fusion between the character's story and John Ostrander's, quote, Suicide Squad comic, and some ancient mythology based on human history. Okay? In human history. Right? One second. Okay, in human history. In the comic, the Enchantress' identity was revealed to be a separate entity controlling June's body, an entity later revealed to be the succubus, a desired demon from a time before. Okay. It says the result is the film's version of Enchantress, a dark occult, and things like that. Mug cake pagan symbol in a foreign tongue with magical symbols worn and written all over her body. So we know that pagan, they were calling who they calling pagans. And they said she has symbols written and worn all over her body. Right? Now let me break this stuff down for you niggas. Okay, go back and watch the movie. So you have Enchantress, and they said here that it's based off mythology and based on human history. Who do you know and what culture wears this? The crescent and the moon. Who's wearing that? Well, since you all don't know, I gotta break it down. I gotta do it for you. We go here to the Great Cosmic Mother. We're talking about the character Enchantress, right? She's ancient. She's before time, okay? This is the woman, right? And we're gonna go here to this section right here. One second. Okay. So we're in a section right here called Moon Mother. Now, what was the woman's name? June Moon. Take off the E. Moon Mother. So let's read this. I'm about to make two parts of this. The earliest representation of the Moon Mother, and perhaps the most universal, were in the form of a cone or a pillar of stone. This is the column of which the death and life goddess purchased the, quote, anointed one. The stones themselves were considered sacred. Sometimes they were meteoric, and they were anointed, having ritual oil, blood, or fermented liquor poured over them. The great Semitic moon goddess Astarte was worshipped on Mount Sinai by the Canaanites in the form of a stone pillar, long before Moses received the stone tablets of law there. Mount Sinai, in fact, means mountain of the moon. And it is interesting to note that the Hebrew Levite priests were originally serpent priests, i.e. Levi, great serpent, as in Leviathan. Leviathan was a sea creature, a serpent. So you just seen here that the Hebrew priests were originally serpent priests. The great serpent as a Leviathan. We're going to drop down here. It says, in her form of the great whale dragon, Babylonian Tiamat, Hebrew Leviathan, Ishtar brought about the great flood, an earthly disaster story the Hebrews borrowed from the Sumerian and Babylonian accounts. But Ishtar also lamented her drowned children, comparing them to fishes in the sea. And it is always in the form of the great serpent or dragon or sea monster that the moon mother was slain by later patriarchal heroes as Tiamat or Tiamat. The Gorgon, Medusa, the dragon slain by St. George, or the snake driven from Ireland by St. Patrick. In fact, there never was any or many snakes in Ireland. The Christian saints symbolically killed the female. We're gonna go right here, and it says the threefold goddess of Arabia, Magna Dea, was enshrined in the sacred black stone, the Kaaba at Mecca, where she was served in ancient times by her priestesses. The sacred black stone at Mecca, site of so many pilgrimages, is imprinted with her vulva or yoni sign and covered with a black pale called the skirt of the Kaaba. The male priests who serve her today are called the B'nai Shaba, which means, quote, the sons of the old woman, i.e. the moon. Present-day Muslims, pilgrims to this shrine, the most holy place of all Islam, are mostly unaware of the pre-Islamic significance of the Kaaba. They circle the black stone 7 times to attain the summit by spiraling around it. 7 is the number of the moon. And the ancients always danced, quote, the way in spiral processions to the summits of her earth mounds. Just debunk you niggas who talk shit about the moon and say it's evil. You're talking about the woman. You're talking about the mother. You niggas don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. So, they just said that the enchantress is based on some ancient mythology and based on human history. So who the hell is this? Egyptian Isis with Horus, whom she conceived without her husband or lover. This is Aset. This is Isis. I confirmed in my previous videos that Isis and Osiris were Negroes. They were real life flesh and blood people. So in your Suicide Squad, in your movie Suicide Squad, this white lady, she's playing Isis. She's playing the mother. She's playing the mother. Just broke down Suicide Squad that quick. Here you go. This is it. Same symbol. This is the same symbol. They tricked your ass. They tricked y'all ass. Talking about this is evil. They downplaying the woman. They played your ass. The moon. This is the great mother, the woman. What is this? All this black shit. What is this? That's carbon. That's melanin. They're afraid of this. They're afraid of the woman. They're afraid of her. They know what power she got. Huh? Yeah, I got you niggas. What's all this black shit? This is melanin. That's melanin, that's carbon. Who you think you fooling, man? You can't trick this nigga right here. I know how to break this shit down, because I know what to read. So you look at this. She's playing Isis, man. She's playing Ishtar. Asherah. The great mother. The moon. The womb. And they trying to kill her. So when you see Will Smith, he's playing what? When you look at his costume, on his neck, he says, I am the way, I am the Christ. He's playing Christ. In this book right here, the Great Cosmic Mother, and the Gnostic text, Jesus says he talks shit about the woman. Now, let's keep on going. If I have to make a part 2 to this, I will. Let's go right here to the jealous God, Yahweh, and his people. And his people. And it says here that the biblical King David was also a shepherd, was also a sacred shepherd. His sensual and ecstatic songs of earthly love, so untypical of the Bible, derived from the ancient love rites of the shepherd king and the goddess. Her Canaanite names were Asherah, Ashtar, and Asherah. Things of that nature. Blah 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 blah. Okay, it says here that the biblical Hebrews were a nomadic, pastoral, and patriarchal people, tribes of sheep herders and warriors who invaded land belonging to the matriarchal Canaanites. Both Hebrews and Canaanites were Semitic peoples. The Canaanites lived in agricultural communities and worshipped the orgiastic, ecstatic moon mother Astarte, or Asherah, or Isis, or Set. As Old Testament stories relate, the Hebrews sacked, burned, and destroyed village after village belonging to the Canaanites, massacring or enslaving the people. A series of brutal invasions and slaughters, typically described by the theologians and preachers as a, quote, spiritual victory. In this way, the Hebrews established themselves on the land, along with the worship of their sky and thunder god, Yahweh, Jehovah, calling themselves his, quote, chosen people. Yahweh's male prophets and priests, however, despite their political victory over the Canaanites, had to carry on a continuous struggle and fulmination against their own people, who kept, quote, backsliding into the worship of the great mother, the great goddess, the goddess of all the Near Eastern neighbors, for she had originally been the goddess of the Hebrews themselves. This constant fight against matriarchal religion and custom is the primary theme of the Old Testament. It begins in Genesis with the takeover of the goddess's garden of immortality by a male god, and the inversion of all her sacred symbols, tree, serpent, moon, fruit, women, into icons of evil. One of the two sons of Eve and Adam, Cain, was made the evil brother because he chose to settle agricultural, matriarchal, the good brother. Abel was a nomadic, pastoral, patriarchal. The war against the goddess is carried on by the prophets, rantings against the, quote, golden calf, the brazen serpents, the, quote, great harlot, the quote whore Babylon, the Babylonian goddess Ishtar, against enchantress, Pythonic diviners, and those who practice witchcraft. It is in the prophet's war against the Canaanite worship of the quote stone idols, the triple moon goddess worshipped as the three horned pillars, or the menhirs. One of her shrines was on Mount Sinai, which means quote mountain of the moon. Moses was commanded by the quote the Lord to go forth and destroy these idols, who all had breasts. We are told monotheism began with the Jews, that it was the great quote spiritual invention of the religious leader Moses. This is not so. The worship of one God, like everything else in religion, began with the worship of the goddess. Her universality has been duly noted by everyone who has ever studied the matter. Monotheism, quote, monotheism, once thought to have been the invention of Moses or Akhenaten, was worldwide and prehistoric in earlier history, i.e. throughout the Paleolithic and Neolithic ages. As E.E.O. James wrote in The Cult of the Mother Goddess, quote, he says, it seems that Evans was correct when he affirmed that it was a monotheism in which the female form of divinity was supreme. The original monotheism of the goddess is perhaps most clearly shown by the fact that in Elizabeth Gold's David's word, quote, Almighty Yahweh, the God of Moses, and the later Hebrews, was originally a goddess. His name, Ihu, or Yahu, Anat, derives from that of the Sumerian goddess Inanna. It says Yahweh, like all male gods, was the first bisexual goddess herself, then her son, then the lover of the goddess, a shepherd king. You see that? Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? Just broke down Suicide Squad that quick. In Deuteronomy 16:20, it is said, you shall not plant any tree as a Asherah beside the altar of God. The Asherah was the Neolithic goddess Inanna, Ishtar, Astarte, Asherah, Isis, Aset, whatever name you want to give her, Kalimaat. She was known by many names. This is the woman, or the symbol of the goddess. Now we just read here in this blog that the enchantress, she had it says here that the result is the film version of Enchantress, a dark, occult, mud cake pagan speaking in a foreign tongue with magical symbols worn and written all over her body. You have the symbol of the goddess. What is these symbols that they're talking about here in this movie? You niggas don't know. You niggas don't know. What is these? Let's see. Let's click on this. Let's see if I can get a good one. I don't know if you can see that. Let's go into this. Cause she has tattoos. She has tattoos and stuff all over her body. Like right here. See that? She has tattoos and stuff all over her body. Matter of fact, we got another movie. You got another movie who does the same thing. Let's close out some of these windows. Check this out. I want to see if you notice a resemblance. You got the Mummy, the last one that came out with Tom Cruise, right? Let's click on the Wikipedia. Let's click on the thing, images. And what is this? You tell me what this is. What is this? Do you see a resemblance here with the tattoos all over her face? Who was she playing? The Great Woman. The woman. Huh? Yeah, I got you niggas. Yeah, that's right. You can't, yeah, you, man. Who you think you niggas fooling? This is the woman. How did Tom Cruise get his powers? From the woman. You niggas think you slick? You can't fool this dude right here. You can't fool this nigga right here. How did Tom Cruise get his powers? Because the woman gave it to him. And they got her subjugated in chains. They didn't want the woman to be free. Let's click on Wikipedia. Let's read this real quick. The same tattoos is on Enchantress in Suicide Squad. So right here, Tom Cruise is he's a excavator or whatever, right? And he said that he discovered the tomb of the princess Amenet, who attempted to summon the deity Set. She was caught and mummified alive. They and archaeologist Jenny Hashley fly Amenet's sarcophagus to Britain, her coffin, right? And let's go. Okay, that's the plot, whatever. And they talk about this Dr. Jekyll and Hyde and all this type of shit or whatever. I'm just trying to hurry up because I don't want to run out of time. But if you see you can see the movie yourself. Watch the movie for yourself, right? And you're gonna see clear as day that I believe he had died or some shit like that or whatever, right? He died, and she put her essence in him. She brought him back to life. Tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Let me know. I'm quite sure I'm not. It says here that Nick returns to, here you go right here. He died in the crash. He died in the crash. Tom Cruise died in the crash. And it says here that her ghost had brought him back to life. I'm just skimming through this, but you can read it on your own. Let's keep on going if I run out of time. It says it was a conventionalized or stylized tree perceived as she and planted therefore at all altars and holy places. And such and such, etc. It says Yahweh's absolute hostility to the Ashur was the political hostility of the nomadic pastoral Hebrew people, or their priesthood at least, to the settled matriarchal cultures and their goddess beliefs. It became a psychological hostility to the entire living earth, doctrinalized in biblical texts. And this is in Deuteronomy. It's saying that you must kill witches and warlocks and all that type of shit. This is the patriarchal subjugation of the woman. Just broke down Suicide Squad and The Mummy, the latest Mummy that came out that quick. Right here. It says they're playing crashes, right? And it says that Amenet's mummy escapes from the sarcophagus and begins feeding on the people to regenerate her body. She recovers the dagger of Set and turns workers into zombies. And blah, 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 blah. Just broke it down that quick. Read it on your own. Watch the movie on your own. Tell me if I'm lying. This, when you see this image, this is the black woman. This is the black woman. All this black shit on her, all this black shit she's around, that's carbon, that's melanin. Huh? That's not evil. You think it's evil because you've been psychologically damaged. They did role play, reverse psychology on your ass. They got your ass. They got you. Now how you gonna debunk this? How you gonna debunk it? You can't debunk this. Can't debunk it. They put the shit in the movie, but you can't discern it. You can't figure it out. The Mummy, Fear the Mummy, the Mummy, the newest one with Tom Cruise exposed, and Suicide Squad exposed. That quick. Just broke it down that quick. With that being said, I highly recommend you get this, The Great Cosmic Mother Exposed. Read it in its full. Okay? Click subscribe to my channel. As always, my videos are for free. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.